Excuse me.
My mum was my best mate.
I asked first for the
Did you? Oh.
Yes. Right, so we've got Dr. Black, the reporter Mr. Mustard, the blonde shell, Crazy Sam, Patsy, and Mr. No Mates. Right, okay. Which I
Quite
think,
an interesting group of people.
yeah, and we should get a good mix out of that. And also I'm on my antipsychotic drugs for the voices. And I'd rather have the pain any time rather than suffer the voices. My name's James, and I was born in Maryfield Hospital in Dundee in 1960. It's been closed a long time now. And I moved south to London in the early 70s. And I've only been back in Dundee a year or so. I was first hospitalised in a psychiatric unit when I was 16 for self-harming. And that's been basically my life ever since. I don't mean every week or every day, but there's been dark periods. I'm on like 15 pills 3 times a day because I'm terminally ill as well, physically terminally ill. It's a disease in the immune system, and there's only 7 people in Britain got it. It's so rare, and there is no cure. So all they can do is give you morphine and medication for your immune system and stuff like that. And also I'm on my antipsychotic drugs for the voices. And I'd rather have the pain any time rather than suffer the voices. Yeah, it wasn't until I started coming to the Haven that I started talking more openly about it. I feel safe there. And you can go into the quiet room with like Sam or Steve or even Keith and just have a 1-to-1 hours chat when you're on a right downer, you know, when the voices are really bad. And I've never felt so comfortable around people until I started to come to the Haven. It has totally changed my outlook on life and helped me bring out a lot of talents that I never knew I had, like songwriting, script writing, filming, even talking to people and getting them to open up a little bit. I always come back to the Haven because I feel comfortable and safe because I live on my own now. And when I'm there, it feels like I'm not with strangers, or it feels like I'm with a family, and I can talk about anything every day nearly. I wouldn't say they're getting fed up of this because I love joining in with everything that's going on. It seems like everything like this, totally different experience, and you're never too old to learn something new. We'd done a gig at Dundee Uni, and my picture had been blown up, like 3x2, and was done in black and white on the wall. And so yeah, I played a big part in that. Yeah, I would just like to thank Keith and the office staff and all the other clients. I was in such a dark place. I only got out of hospital 9 months ago or something in Slough, where I was sectioned for jumping in front of a train. But since I've came to the Haven, it's like a totally different life. I can't thank them enough. Good evening. It is now 8 o'clock and it's time to hand you over to an exclusive with Patsy McChatty interviewing her special guest, Crazy Sam.
Well, good afternoon, Crazy Sam. Thank you for inviting me this evening to this disused underground bunker.
You're welcome.
How are you today?
Yeah, pretty good. I like bunkers.
Good, that's good. I heard that you recently left prison after a 30-year sentence, however. Less cheerful. How was prison?
It was okay. It was my home for a long time. It was my kingdom.
My name's Kirsty. I'm from Dundee my whole life. I enjoy hill walking, cooking, beach combing. It's good. I quite enjoy exploring Scotland too. Well, it was actually my OT who referred me to the Haven. She thought it might be, an interesting experience. I might meet people, which I have. And just generally, that they had lots of projects that it was good to get involved in. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, we went out with various different photographers, and we tried different photography styles. And we tried portraits, we tried nature photography, we tried just little projects, involving texture and tone and stuff, and then we edited them afterwards. So it was really enjoyable. Yeah, London was good. Yeah, London was really good. We went to look at the Shard. We went into the Tate Modern for a while, and we just generally wandered in one of the markets. Yeah, the underground was a very sort of busy and compact experience. Keith found us a really pleasant apartment. There were about 5 of us, I think, 5 or 6 of us. So yeah, good company. No one seemed to fall out, so all positive. Yeah, I enjoyed making that film. It was rather difficult to come up with everything I could say, on the spot. But because we didn't look at the questions beforehand or anything. Yeah, I enjoyed doing it, and I was very impressed with what Kate eventually came up with, actually, considering that the actual interviews had been so kind of stop and start and ums and ers staring at you. Yeah, it just didn't feel natural, But yeah, I learned a lot about what it's like to actually take part in making something like that. Everyone in the film kind of had, Keith kind of summed up what the tone of their interview was, what it was like. He felt that mine was hurt because of the issue with my finger. I actually cut my finger off because Voices told me to. It's been reattached, obviously. Say Gavin was stigma because he was talking a lot about people's reactions, people he was talking to in the pub, and he was getting on really well with them, and then they turned around and, when he told them that he worked for the Hearing Voices Network, they basically said, F off, and he was just like talking about that a lot and what that was like. And Trisha, on the other hand, she was talking a bit about, I think, her recovery and going back to, getting married and stuff, and everything kind of turning out positively, So they were really good. There were good themes to, they were quite balanced between the positive and the negative and stuff. Everyone that's spoken to me about the film has been really nice about it, so yeah, it's been fine. I mean, I think people should be understanding and tolerant of these things, and if they don't want to, say, work with you or something as a result, I don't want to be intolerant of them not understanding or something, but as I said, people should be tolerant of these things, and that if someone doesn't want to work with you as a result, then you can easily find someone who will understand. So yeah, it was quite difficult because I was worried about creating an image that might be triggering for some people. Having like a saw kind of hanging up on the wall. But in the end, I think we decided as a group that that it would be all right. Although I was still quite concerned about it. I mean, they looked really, really professional, actually. A lot of them did anyway. Especially the portraits, they looked excellent. And they picked out the best ones for the exhibition, I think. Some people were looking really super photogenic. Yeah, I still hear voices occasionally, but that's been trimmed back a lot by my medication. I'm on quite a lot of medication at the moment, and it all seems to be contributing. And I'm trying to keep myself busy, keep myself occupied. That helps a lot. Just creative, creative, and every day's been like sort of a fresh experience. So places like the Haven have really helped with that, with doing that. I think projects like Voices Seen help in recovery because they're, they add interest and experience to your life, and they give you the opportunity to meet lots of kind people. So yeah, there's just various ways that they kind of enrich your life and help with your recovery. Well, what are your plans now?
A few people I'd like to get in contact again to recap old acquaintances. Well, name's Samuel Drummond. At present, I live in Dundee, but I'm originally from Northern Ireland. We had the fun day at Coalside Park, where it was actually myself and Kirsty met Becca. For the first time, we were invited down. And a few days later, went down and see her face. And, well, basically that was it. We've been going ever since. The way I see with the Haven is you can go down and you can get involved in different activities, but it's more than that. You can actually just call in to chill, and there's, no matter what, everybody's got problems, so there's always somebody there. Either you're there for them or they're there for you, and you can just go and chill, have a coffee, have something to eat, and yeah, they're nice people. Yeah, well, we do get out and about with them. We see in different places. You meet different people, and you do get more involved, and you get certainly more interest in your surroundings, and you learn. It's slow process, but we do learn. Yeah, Voice of Senior, we do photography, a bit slow on the uptake, so it takes a lot of repetition. But I have been learning about ISO and the frame and stuff, but it's slow going. Well, I know more now than what I did before, so I actually would just when sometimes just for one of their walks. Yeah, we've done that in here a couple of times, and I think the last time we were here it was actually winter where the leaves were off the trees. I think it was actually more awesome than it was scarier. I love the trees with the leaves off, and it's like looking at the soul. Sometimes I put a lot of photographs on the computer, and sometimes I would pick one of them to paint, but I would never paint anything exactly as I see it. I would change quite a bit in the photograph to make it more personal, because it's me that's done it. It's not I don't like just doing an exact copy of anything. I have to change what I see. That was interesting. My first ever attempt at filming, and I was so scared. So was it, because I'd never done it. I'm not particularly good at it, and I think, the sound of my voice, especially because I've got an accent, which is different to everybody else's, so I was more self-conscious than most people would be. And now for the first part of it, I felt quite out of place, but I got through it. Done the voices scene. Yeah, it was interesting. It was enjoyable. I personally don't think I take a good picture. I feel as if I'm somewhat deformed. So I don't mind them being taken as I usually don't like the outcome of what I see. The image I have of myself in my head is different to the image I see in a photograph. They're not the same thing. And I prefer the image in my head to the one I see. Well, to be honest, as far as confidence, it's something quite lacking. But no, the book was a fine piece of work. Fair play to the person that done it. It took a lot to do it. I suppose in the long run, it's going to be memories. It's there for time memorial, isn't it? People look through it years to come and say, who's that age? All I would say is to try and let go. Enjoy the projects.
And after the ad, we will be back with a friend of Crazy Sam's who he's had a crush on for over 20 years, and she is the blonde bombshell.
All right, okay, this will be good for long talk next. But at the time I wasn't as good as what I was now. I was more anxious at the time. So it was wasn't a big deal, but it was wonder I was able to do it, do you know what I mean, at the time.
Your confidence has come on leaps and
I know,
bounds.
it's unbelievable.
It
I
is.
don't actually believe myself. I came back to the way I was years ago.
Hi, my name's Rona Foy and I come from Dundee. I was at Harvey with some friends and I tried a drug that they had also taken. I thought, well, they've took it, so it should be okay. I didn't think it was that it actually harmed me straight away. But as days were going on, I started to feel really strange, like my mind was just changing. A few weeks went on, I just started feeling bizarre. I was seeming a bit more stressed, uptight, things like that. A few people started to notice that, but I couldn't see it for myself. And then I started to have bizarre thoughts. Although there was no voices involved, it was still very scary. What I think it probably had been was more like a drug-induced psychosis. I was actually suffering from anxiety, and I was in a psychiatric hospital, Carsview, and there was a couple of people who came from the Haven that day to do peer support. I started off volunteering in the kitchen. I was still quite bad at the time, and then just gradually over time I got better. I enjoy taking pictures of nature. I really enjoy taking pictures of flowers, birds, anything to do with nature. Nature can be